All right, everybody, welcome to Dog Talk and DA Talk here at the Star Trek Funtime Center. I'm your dog host, Techman16. How's it going, everybody?
Good. Can't complain.
Wait, what
Handy.
happened to the intro of you also saying I'm handy and whatever?
Oh yeah. I'm Andy, and Tech is Tech, and Strange Kirk is LARPing.
and I'm still a rubber ducky.
We haven't gone to the part where Boom is part of the introduction crew yet. Boom, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, that's going to be hilarious with all four of you introducing yourself.
I just did. I told you I'm a rubber ducky.
He's rubber ducky boomslang. Anyways,
Wait, who finally kicked Giga? I'm very curious.
He was kicked
he
by Titus, I believe.
Yep.
Okay. Nah, he was just going on.
Tried so hard to get him to chill the fuck out, and tried to defend the dude. And
No, I tried to help him too. I actually had a 45-minute conversation with him last Sunday on voice in after party, and tried to explain to him how to deal with this stuff, and he just threw all that down the drain and went back to going crazy.
I tried too, and privately and everything else, and
look, guys, this is quite literally somebody who has absolutely no interest in stopping the way he interacts. He does what he does. He will never change. It's quite obvious.
And he actually started PMing me saying it's my fault. I'm like, why is it my fault? Because you pointed out.
He's mentally ill. It's not a joke. Nothing. It's fact. Just based on what I've seen, he is mentally ill, and that's just what it is. And if I knew that from the beginning, or very short thereafter, the first time I talked to him, but the first time he was on the show, but yeah. Anyway, there's just nothing to be done about it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where and you can be wild and have crazy ideas, and it can be entertaining, but then it depends on how that person interacts. And in his case, and it's not a negative about him, like people have certain issues that they deal with, but the way he interacted just was problematic for other people. And you hit that point of when you have to make those decisions on, do you allow somebody to negatively impact a lot of other people to try to just protect them, or at some point do you have to say that their interactions are problematic enough for enough other people that it's that the whole, do you try to protect the one or the many? And in this case, at least for right now, that's where we've come down on, I think, is that just
it's option B.
No, I respect the fact. I respect the fact that people have mental issues or whatever it is. Maybe he does, and he was a little off. But it was coming to the point where I did not want even to open the Discord anymore. It was just him. He was just going on and on and on, and it was getting too much at one point.
Yep, totally agree there.
We apologize that it took a few days to ban him, but he is banned now. There was talk about maybe trying to let him back in, but I don't think it's a good idea. I think enough people have spoken out, like, why is he still here? This guy's insane. What are you guys doing? And just can't ignore that. When every single person on the server says, this guy's nuts, I don't want to talk to him. Kind of have to listen to that.
Yeah, makes me feel for the people of Server 20 that deal with that on a regular basis, but it's easier to deal with him on
Well,
it.
you just have a block
I
button.
mean,
Yeah,
yeah, and you know, honestly, I feel bad for him too, because it's not like, just because it's been frustrating for us doesn't mean that it's not also frustrating for him, and I'm sure it's not easy for him either. And that's the unfortunate reality, though, that when you have two groups that are diametrically opposed in how they want to operate, you know, sometimes this is just how it breaks down. But he loses out on the interactions that he wants. Now, again, the problem was the interactions he wanted aren't the interactions everybody else wanted, and that's what. But I do feel bad for the guy, because he's clearly puts a lot into, you know, the game, and you know, he was on here talking all the time, so it's a huge part of what he does, and he's losing out on it, at least in terms of interactions here.
From what I understand, when he's on his medication, he's fine. But he goes through spurts like this where he just completely loses his shit, and he cannot be talked to. He cannot be reasoned with. He cannot reason with crazy. And I normally draw the line at talking about people's personal shit, but he has brought his personal shit into our Discord server front and center, and it just can't be ignored. So, the
Yeah,
dude's crazy. He needs to take his medication. I hope he does and gets stabilized and he can come back.
him and Claus, but Claus was banned within like, an hour.
Yeah, and that goes back to our rules, which we've talked about, but it's worth mentioning again. Like, the outside shit, it's outside. It's not part of the game. Like, if they bring it, you know, if they bring it up willingly themselves, maybe that's one thing. But he's talking about another person, and he's bringing up entirely outside, unsubstantiated stuff, and that's the kind of thing that we don't support here. Like, you want to be pissed off at someone and call them an asshole because they camp your base and don't let you, you know, get your ship out, stuff like that. That's fine. Call them an asshole, even though that's personal. Like, it's game related. But yeah, just dragging in entirely outside things, especially things that it's entirely hearsay. That's him giving his side of something that none of us know about and don't want to hear about and don't care about. So yeah, keep that kind of stuff out of here.
No, also, but I know
I
a
just
lot of
can't
people
believe his reaction once he was called out on his bullshit. Like, who acts like that? You get called out by a moderator and you just, start calling names?
But who was this Claus?
Yeah, he's like, oh, why don't you just ban me then? Blah, blah, blah. And like micro penis and like some other shit. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh shit!
What's wrong with this guy?
I didn't
I
even
didn't see all that. I didn't catch that.
I didn't catch that. I saw that he started to post about Gigga, and I was like, I think I said in referees or that like it needs to be handled, but then I had to go to dinner. Like, so I missed all that other stuff. But wow.
Yeah. I saw it. Handy had like a little discussion, and then the guy's like, "Well, why don't you just ban me then?" And Handy like, "Much obliged," and then boom, he's gone.
Now, some people need to get banned. Some people are just toxic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we've seen that in multiple servers, including 34, that toxic people need to go.
Here's the thing about Discord. Look, we don't need anybody here. We will do this show if there's only one person listening. We do this show because we enjoy it. If other people enjoy it, that's awesome. Please, you're welcome. We love to have you here. We like having other people come and talk to us. But we're going to do the show regardless.
Yeah, I like coming here because also it's not scripted and you don't try to make me say what you want me to say. You let me say what I want. That's one thing I like.
Right. Well, I mean, that's the whole point. That's the whole premise of the show, really, in my opinion.
Yeah, I tried to script it. It didn't work out so well. So I'm just like, fuck it. What do you guys want to talk about?
No, but also it makes sense. Like, see, there's scripted and non-scripted. You should actually let people talk what they want also, right? If you try to funnel it too much to exactly what you want to be speak. Topics can be scripted, I guess. You can choose what topic you want to talk about, but you should let people say what they want, which is what you guys do, which I appreciate, and I think it's a very good thing.
That's
Yeah,
also it's therapy.
yeah. We had a little bit of discussion about that, and that's kind of, I at least kind of agree with what you're saying. There is, I feel like maybe if we had a couple topics on hand in case nobody has something burning and passionate to speak about, or maybe even we do something like open up polls about, hey, what topics are people interested in talking about this week, whatever. Like, I don't know, because we do want you guys to actually just come and talk, shoot the shit, whatever. But
I mean, we
I
do have-
actually enjoy coming and talking here. That's why I'm actually coming on a lot more, if you guys realize.
Yep.
we do have a pretty robust channel in the game ideas section. I mean, we can, there's usually an interesting conversation that goes on in there.
Why
I'm gonna read through it. I'm usually running around trying to police the crazies. Now maybe I can finally enjoy the Discord channels.
Yeah, it was pretty hard to do anything here for a little bit.
Yeah,
I actually had a hard time a week ago, and I was going through some shit, and I actually left every content creator Discord except yours.
Oh, right on. Cool. Thank you.
We're honored. What
No,
happened?
actually, I'm just going through some personal shit anyway. My father had a heart attack, and then people started talking shit to me, and I lost my shit. I left my alliance.
What the? See, now that's bullshit. Like, real world shit happens, and that's terrible. But if then people start being assholes because of it, that's the kind of uncalled for.
Okay, let's say I'll give you an example. I actually, what exactly happened is I got raided because I was in the hospital and I did not shield. I was not thinking about the freaking game at that point. Problem was, a week before that, I got raided in the same spot. And I agree that was my fault. I got drunk. Whatever. It was my fault. But this particular instance, I got raided. And people in my alliance started getting really nasty with me and started talking shit, saying, we're not going to defend you, this, that. I'm like, dude, you win events because of me. What the hell is wrong with you people? I said, and then I did not repair my base. I moved to territory. I said, you have 1 hour. Anybody who defended me last time can take whatever resources you want, and then I'm out. And I left. And it spiraled on, and people started talking shit in Discord too, and I got angry and just left everything.
That was a very adult way to handle it.
No, I walked away instead of making a scene, right? It's better to walk away.
That's
talking shit.
Instead of getting nasty and fighting with people and abusing people, I just walked away. Simple.
So are you still by yourself now, vreddy, or did you?
I went back to my old alliance, which collapsed after I left. Initially, what happened was after the merge, I was in my old alliance to begin with. And what happened was this other alliance who wanted to be third created a way that they started killing all my warships when they saw it, which pissed me off. So I left the alliance and told them a new one. And then they threatened war on my old alliance if I went back. So that's when I actually joined home. And then I've been at war for 8 months. I don't give a shit about war. I'm not scared. It's just the comments that I got that I did not like, and I left. And actually, I'm still KOS, by the way. Can you believe it? It's been 13 days, and they still have me as KOS.
You mean ROG has you as KOS?
Yeah.
Oh well, because you were.
I walked away. If they push me longer, I'll go back to home and then hit them. Why would they want me to come back? I just don't get it. Sometimes people just don't make sense to me.
Sometimes people are a little slow. You gotta, bang it into them.
It's been 13 days, dude. I mean, come on. I walked away. Leave me alone, for God's sake. I walked away from your stupid war. When I was in it, yes, I did hit them. I was actively part of the war because I'm in a war. But because they're hitting me, I'm hitting them. But when I walk away, let me. Why are you pushing me to come back?
They're making it personal. That's the problem. Look, if you're one of the most powerful people or the most powerful person on your server, people
I'm the third strongest in the server.
You're always going to have a target on your back.
Yeah, I get it. But it's getting, My only statement to them was, you push me enough, I'll come back to the war. Why do you want that when I left it? There are two people on the server who can actually kill my ships if I have a good PvP crew on. So why would you want me back in the war? Which is what I don't get. When I walked away, I didn't walk away because I'm scared of them. I walked away for my own reasons, but I still walked away. Right? Once I walked away, leave me alone. Is my statement. I just don't get why you still targeting me.
You know, I honestly, I'll say that I don't really know many people in ROG, and
Mm-hmm.
outside of maybe you or Amergan, and maybe a couple other people, I don't really know that many people in HOM. So I don't know if it's necessarily the tags or because there's so few people on your server that anybody who is associated with HOM or ROG is now targeted regardless of where they go.
Rogue is the one who started that. What they did was they actually put out a blanket statement saying that anybody who joins HOM will be hit for a week even if they leave. So I actually went on GC. I said, I will give you a week. I will not retaliate. Hit me how much you want and then leave me alone. They're still not leaving me alone. It's been 2 weeks.
Well, see, the thing is, this game is now populated with a bunch of people that have been playing it for, in most cases, a year, a few years plus, and still haven't figured out that they should walk away from the game. So the fact that it's only been like an extra week and they haven't figured out to stop hitting you, like, it's gonna probably
If they
take them
go
a
on for another
while.
week, I'm going to go back and hit them. I mean, there's only so long I'm going to take the punishment.
See, you should have been doing it already.
Yeah, I would stop.
I don't want to go back though. I want to walk away. I mean, I get
Well,
it. I'm in an alliance where
Right,
Why
but
you're doing it.
it's not about
They
even
know you
going
want to
back.
walk away. They know you want to walk away, so that's why you shouldn't.
Yeah, basically you're at a state right now where it's not harming them to hit you because you're not hitting them back yet, really. So yeah, I would take it as hit them back hard, and make them want you to get out of it.
they enjoy the war. They had been at war for 3.5 years. They've been at war since beta, since any of us even started playing this game. They will not actually. It will not make a difference to them if I hit them. Really, it doesn't.
I mean, it's been about 5 years, right?
Yeah, then it's been 5 years or whatever it was. They've actually been at war since beta.
Well, then they're clowns. I don't know.
They've been like
They
a
are.
couple of months here and there of peace, but they have generally been at war since beta, since before even I started playing this game. So even if I hit them, yeah, I can hit them, I can tear them a new one, but it's not going to make a difference to them. They'll still hit me back. I'm giving them. I will actually give them 1 more week. If they do not take me out of KOS, I'm going back to the war, and I will. And I am not a minor killer. I generally kill warships, but I will make it a point to stop doing everything else and actually hit everybody I can see, just to show them they pissed me off.
What you got to do, like, people talk down on minor killing, but you really have to commit to even that. That is how you hurt people.
It doesn't hurt me though. When people kill my miner, I send it back. There's a guy who comes back every 10 minutes.
Well,
kill my miner. It doesn't hurt me though.
It pisses most people off.
I mean,
not only does it piss them off, but most people aren't. Most people don't have the ability to just immediately, go resend whatever. So when you kill their miner, they lose time mining, and that is slowly but surely choking off their available resources. Like sometimes it's
I'm
a
not talking
very
about
slow process,
I'm talking about someone like me. I'm not talking about a general player. Someone like me, if you hit my miner, it's not going to make a difference. At this point, when I'm 50,
right.
You hit my G4 miner, it doesn't make a difference to me. Even 25 million is a drop in the bucket. I really don't care at this point. I got rated for 200 billion titanium, and I didn't even think about it. It didn't even phase me because I'm swimming in it.
Right. And that's you, but again, you generally have to apply kind of the 80-20 rule, which is sure, 20% of people aren't going to care, but 80% of people will care. And so
No, I
you
get this. I
you
get the
hit
statement, but
enough.
anybody in the 40s don't care about their minors, right? Anybody in the 40s nowadays, a G3 minor does not make a difference. And
It's
a
not
lot of
about
people
the
are in the
miner itself. It's about the lack of mining.
well, you just send it back or send it to a different system. It'll take them 15 minutes to find you.
I,
And
Again,
15 minutes to mine.
not most people, like I was saying and talking about losing hours of time. A lot of people aren't able to just quickly send a miner back once it gets hit. A lot of people are busy working, doing whatever. That's sort of like you hit their miner, and it's 4 or 6 hours later that they send it back, and so just they're losing a lot of time that they're no longer mining, no longer getting those resources that they needed.
But that's what
It's not so
notifications
much
are
about
there
the
for, right? That's
it's
what
what they're there
notifications are
for,
there for.
but just because you get notifications doesn't mean you're in a job or whatever where you can stop and handle that.
so I have a question though. Be ready. Does
Yeah.
ROG and HOM still mine? Because it
Yeah.
seems to me that if in a war, that
I mind, dude. I was at war with them and I was the second highest
not
miner
you,
in. Everyone mines. Everyone gets their dailies done.
everyone.
At least more.
All
Everybody
right.
says they get their dailies done. If they don't, I don't know.
So what will happen if you commit to blowing up their miners in every system everywhere for 2 weeks,
Problem
3 weeks?
is, like my point of view, how it works. There are guys who attack me in G3 space. In G5, it'll take them an hour to find me. In G4, it'll take them half an hour to find me. In G3, it'll take them 5 minutes. But I get to mine that 5 minutes. So I'll mine the 5 minutes. They kill me. I'll move to a different system and mine there for another 10 minutes before they find me. If they have that way of thinking, like me, then yes, they will get their mining done. But if they don't, then they're not going to get their mining done. Is what is my. I'm just giving you my thought process, how I work this out.
Right. So what I'm getting at is, uh, you have what, 6 docks or 7 docks? I can't remember. Can't
Yeah,
remember how many
7.
docks there are.
Seven,
Seven
seven.
docks, right? So load each one up with warships and PvP crews and send them to all different systems, and just check all those systems and just blow up all their miners for an entire week.
Yeah, the problem
So
is
they
there's so
can't.
many systems. By the time I come back to the first set of systems, they're going to mine for 5-10 minutes at least. Which again, my point of view, where of 10 minutes is good enough. I'll send it back. That's their point.
So
I think that's how they've been trained to mine now because they get hit so often it doesn't matter. And also there are certain times when they are not on because they're mostly Australians and they sleep for 2-3 hours where we are on and we can mine then. I think that's why home gets to mine then, and then it's the opposite. Same Irish sleep here, so people in that side, I don't know. It's a mess. It's not APAC. The
yeah,
funny part is
Yeah.
our server is not APAC because we have people from Ireland in it. It's not, so
No.
it's very weird.
Yeah, that's kind of odd. But I think that as much as like if you actually went and cleared those systems and looked, you would see that only about 20% of those people would come back and start mining right away. Most of them are gonna lose, like they're not gonna get that extra 10 minutes of mining here or there coming back because most of them will be busy doing other stuff and not be able to get to it until later.
The same. I'm busy at work at some point. Like, see, I generally play this game when I'm in the car. I'm in the car for 2 hours, 2.5 hours each way sometimes. So while I'm
Well,
busy in the land or
that's a
whatever
lot of
I'm looking
time.
for, yeah. But between those 2 times of going and coming back, I am working. But if I see a message of someone has killed my miner, let's say, and I'm doing something, I'll finish what I'm doing and at least send it back. It might not be immediate, but I would send it back at least, is what my point is. Maybe
Right.
everyone wouldn't, but that's how I play and that's how I
Every
hit.
Yeah, everyone doesn't. I promise.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody doesn't because they don't have the resilience to do it. I do. So that's why I get my shit done. That's basically what I feel.
all right. I want to talk about Star Trek Picard. Anybody's watched the latest episodes?
Oh
Nope.
wow! I mean,
Haven't watched any yet.
that ending was insane.
So I got I got an interesting question that I think I'm gonna way go too nerdy into this thing. So spoiler alert: in the last episode, Picard meets Guinan in 2024.
Oh,
Now,
yeah. But I have one
it
question for you before you continue.
They
Did you
already met
like
in
yeah,
like
sure.
the
like
19.
Guinan? I thought I didn't like her character at all in the new show.
Oh, the new Guinan.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
yeah.
Not a
I didn't
fan.
like it. I didn't like her at all. I thought she killed the character.
Right. So back to Boom's point here. Yeah, in 1870 or 1850, I thought Guinan met Picard in San Francisco, and yet in this
Yeah,
episode, yeah, she doesn't even know who he is. Like, kind of weird. Just pointing that out there.
And
Because the
also,
writers don't even
if
know Star Trek canon. That's why.
and
yeah.
also ending of the
Oops.
show, there are two cliffhangers. First is I don't remember the character's name, but the Romulan is a human who can basically take over other humans' bodies. So she's actually not a human. So she's an alien there at one
Oh
number one.
yeah,
And number two,
yeah,
Hugh lost his powers. If you realize the
yeah,
end, he
yeah. He lost
snaps
his
and he
power.
says, "Oh crap!" So those
Right,
I think those
and
two are very interesting. That's something I'm
well,
waiting for to see how that plays out.
it's funny, right? He snaps his fingers and nothing happens. And he's like, that's unexpected. And I'm just like, well, it's not like you haven't experienced that before. I mean, there's been
Yeah.
how many that you've been that you've been mortal?
Yeah, I get what you mean, but what I'm saying is, it's still, I guess, it's not unexpected that he's actually become mortal in this particular scenario. I guess.
Right. So, I don't I'm not necessarily all that intrigued by the whole Laris situation where she's like the watcher or whatever.
But she's not
Um,
Laris. She looks like a human in this. She's not actually a
right,
Romulan.
right. I'm sorry. The Laris actress, whatever her name
Yeah.
is.
Oh.
Right. It's by the way, in episode 3 when they're on the ship on La Serena and they're fighting Seven's husband and friends or whatever. I'm
Mhm.
like, did anybody get a headache looking at those lens flares?
Those what?
Lens
The lens
flares.
flare.
I have no idea what
It's
you're talking.
so in New Trek or Abrams Trek is
Yeah.
like if you look at the light behind a character, it looks it's not like a light.
Ah, okay.
There's
Now I get
there's
what you're
like
talking about.
streams coming from the
Yeah,
left to the right,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
I
and
get
I'm
it.
just like I'm like, man, am I having a seizure? Like this is really annoying.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
By the way, to anybody else in the audience, do you like lens flares? Because I really don't.
Uh,
Also,
I mean, there are certain shots and things where okay, like just a brief or what, like it can be interesting. But yeah, the constant use that Abrams uses, and yeah, no,
It's really bizarre. But by the way, V Ready, do you like the Borg Queen in this show?
I was just about to actually add the Borg Queen and the blonde in the last episode was, I mean, the way they've been interacting is very odd.
Right?
Yeah, it's like weird as fuck, man.
It's like there's like a sexual connection there. And I'm just like,
Exactly. What the hell is
what's
going
going on?
on? It's really funny. I mean, yeah. I was letting the guy who was talking finish talking. I didn't want to interrupt him, but that's exactly what I was going to ask you. Do any of you think that there's something weird going on there?
I mean, resistance is futile.
I mean, but she has been. I mean, her
The-
character has been imprisoned, right? The whole point is,
yeah, right. Oh my God. It's plus not to mention we know when Girardi hooked herself into the Borg Queen to find the information. I'm like,
Yeah.
Picard just plugs in a USB cord into her neck, and I'm like, wait, when did that happen?
Yeah,
Yeah,
when
that
did
was.
this
I mean,
happen?
the fact that,
Bro,
I mean, how do you let someone into a Borg Queen's head? That doesn't make any sense.
well,
That whole concept didn't make sense to me. It was stupid.
apparently you use a USB connection. That's how you hook it in.
Well,
You just
okay.
I mean, it's simple. Be ready. Duh.
The real tragedy there is the Borg are supposed to be sophisticated and they're still using wired connections. Where's their Bluetooth? Come on.
No. It's actually the humans who are trying to do the wired connection. If you realize, the Borg Queen is dead. I
I
mean,
haven't watched any of it yet, but
then you're getting all the
yeah,
spoilers.
It's just
yeah,
lazy, bro.
you're in for a treat, man. Not to mention everything. Like, and I don't know what you guys think, but for some reason, somebody has a tentacle fetish because everything is all about tentacles in
How
Picard.
Borg Queen, like in the first episode where all the tentacles comes out, and what didn't me, I get it. This particular ship had Borg tech in it, so it could take over. But one ship and because she took over that ship, she can take over the whole Armada. That didn't make any sense.
But yeah, I don't. It's see. Here's the thing, vreddy. She used tentacles to assimilate the Stargazer, and the Stargazer had Bluetooth technology that you can use in space to assimilate the other ships. See, now I fixed it for you.
No, you did not. It still didn't make any fucking. But yeah, I mean, it was a beautiful scene, but it didn't make any fucking sense. I mean, does anybody that made any sense that it could take over that ship so easily because it had Borg tech in it? But how can one ship wirelessly take over the whole armada of over 50 ships? That doesn't make any
and
sense.
then, and apparently, you can get up to 99% assimilated, but if you don't get to 100, you can still blow up your ship.
Yeah. I was actually curious about that. How the hell did he blow it up? Like, if she took over most of the systems, wouldn't like auto destruct be the first thing that she takes over to stop it? I didn't make any sense as well. Yeah.
I'm telling you, it was just there was a security vulnerability in Apple's AirDrop, and that's how the assimilation of all the other ships happened.
Yeah. They're
I mean,
showing
Oh my
I
filters.
like where they're going with it. They did a good job with the story, but some of the things they brought up didn't make any sense. But it's better than the first episode, first season. Like the first season, just running
yeah,
behind.
first.
The only episode in
Well,
the first season I liked is when Riker comes with his armada to fight the Romulans. That was the
oh,
best, only
oh,
good scene.
you mean with his copy and paste ships, that his armada of
Yeah,
ships that all looked exactly the same?
exactly.
Yeah.
And dude, the worst is remember whatever they're trying to summon, they're like snakes and insects looking creatures who are
It's
apparently. I'm like, what
it's
the
tentacles.
fuck was going on there? Who the hell thought that shit up?
Yeah, it's the tentacles, man. Like it's all about tentacles.
In
Tentacles
the
were breaching.
creative,
Definitely had a tentacle
uh,
fetish there.
in the creative process, there's that fine line of how much mushrooms you can take. Where if you take a little too much, it starts to get weird.
I don't think it's mushrooms, man. I think it's full blown LSD that you gotta that they were.
I'm really looking forward to new worlds. I mean, what was that called? The Pike one?
Strange New World.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that.
So
I
but
like his character. I like his character a lot. I like the
getting
I like the
I hope
actor. Have you guys seen
getting
him
back to
in
episode.
Humans?
No,
There was a
but
show called
but
Inhumans.
yeah, Anson Mount's a good actor though. I haven't seen much of his work, but he's very on point when he acts. So I'm curious to see how that'll work.
Yeah, I liked his character a lot. I mean, and I liked his second in command too. She was pretty good as well.
Oh, the number one.
Yeah, number one. Yeah.
So I'm looking at Madam Stargazer's face, and it just reminds me of of 7 of 9 stealing a police car from the LAPD.
I mean, seriously, if someone beats someone in a police station and takes a police car and leaves, and she actually gets away, that doesn't make any sense. There are going to be 100 of cops, like, at least chasing her. Like, come on, it's 2022. It's not like 1800s where nobody knows what the fuck they're doing.
It's not like they have a GPS tracker on the car.
Yeah,
know.
they could not possibly coordinate any sort of I haven't even seen it,
Or-
and I can already hear how ridiculous this is.
Well,
It's
okay,
crazy,
so
right?
And do you guys realize something? Everybody forgot about the fact that what do you call that Mexican guy's communicator is still there in the in the clinic. They last
yes,
whole
yeah.
episode they didn't even mention it.
Well, it was when he got arrested, right? When
Yes,
he
they
got
showed at
arrested
the
by
end of the
ICE.
episode where he got arrested. They see him; it's sitting there on the counter, and then it's not been
Right.
mentioned again, which does not
Correct.
make any sense
Yeah,
to me.
when Raffi and 7 broke in, they didn't seem to take it.
They
I
didn't
did
want to
notice.
look for it. Yeah, exactly. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, sure, alien technology from the year
You
24
first find the
something.
communicator.
Right. You want to not contaminate the timeline by taking all the advanced tech out of this. I mean, isn't that time travel 101?
It should
Forget
be.
that. How do they look? Okay, if you're looking for someone and you're looking for him through the communicator, first you find the communicator. They didn't even look for the communicator. That was a big gap in the story right there. Right?
Hey, it's okay. They're gonna stage a prison break anyway in the next episode because they're right next to the bus that they're gonna have to hijack with a phaser.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I can
yeah,
see that going
I
over
like
well.
some of the things about it, but some of the things are just blah. I mean, it's like they don't know what the fuck they're doing in some of the things. And I'm not even a freaking screenplay artist. I mean, who writes screenplays? And I know I can find so many holes. I can't even imagine.
Yeah,
You
yeah. It's I do like
Sounds
how
like
they
they didn't
introduced.
even. Go ahead.
I do like how they introduced ICE into the episode, and of course they arrest the Spanish speaking dude because
Yeah, and the Spanish chick who is a citizen.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Why would ICE arrest a citizen? That doesn't make any freaking sense.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. Apparently this is her
Exactly. They
second time
say
being.
she's a citizen. Even the ICE people know she's a citizen. They still arrest her. That doesn't make any freaking sense. Okay, sorry, Boom. We're just killing the show for you.
it's all right. I'm actually also I'm curious how many people in the audience are like, wait a minute, they talk about other Star Trek?
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
see,
almost every single episode we talk about something usually.
all right, Goat Bear says the actor on the bus with the boombox was the same as the one from A Voyage Home. Really? Really? I didn't know that.
What is a voyage home?
A Voyage Home was the movie.
Oh,
Number
I mean
Star Trek 4,
that
The
guy
Voyage.
was so bad in that. I mean, and really he getting scared. And I think Rafa is going a little crazy in this show. I get it, the guy died, but her character is going a little spastic. If you think
Well, I thought she was attracted to 7, not Elnor. So I don't know what happened there.
Eleanor is her protege, who was like came out of the what do you call the academy, and
The,
she like thinks of him like a protege son or whatever. I don't know.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she is attracted to 7. She's not attracted to Eleanor. At least that's the premise, I think.
So lost.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. You're right, Swagger. Because I'm still not over the part where Guinan didn't recognize Picard. It's very strange.
Yeah. See that even I remembered though, because they found like Data's head or something in San Francisco.
Exactly.
Oh
Exactly.
yeah, I remember that now. Yeah,
Yeah, with Mark Twain. They met Mark
yeah,
Twain,
yeah,
and he had to find those aliens that fed on
yeah.
human energy or whatever.
And I just didn't.
Well,
I think they could have found a better character though. I mean, she's just I mean, the actor they found for that character was so bad. I just don't like her. I mean,
I mean,
Whoopi is
she's
Whoopi.
good. Well, I mean, like the character that they found, like the actress, she's actually good for being like, badass black chick who's gonna kick ass and take names. But that's not Guinan. That's not a Guinan character.
Exactly. She's not
No,
Guinan.
she's like a gentle soul.
no.
Right, who always listens, right? And
Yeah.
Exactly.
and she's closing her bar, which is called 10 Forward, which is somehow going to be the name of the bar in the Enterprise.
And it's also going to be the name of the bar after Enterprise is destroyed and Picard is an old man. If you realize, the
Right,
bar
yeah,
Well,
to meet the actual Guinan is actually called 10 Forward as
in the
well.
same spot.
so
In the same spot.
could I just, because I haven't watched it, like her bar on Earth, it was called 10 Forward.
Yeah.
Well, it's
'Cause-
called it's on 10 Forward Avenue. That's what.
Oh my god, that's fucking ridiculous. Because I mean, it made sense on the show. Like it was deck 10 forward, so it's 10 forward.
Right.
Right. So it's yeah.
Anyway,
So he literally gets transported to the middle of Los Angeles to Forward Avenue, and he looks and he sees the number 10 on this building, and he just grabs his head. He's like, "Oh my god, I get to meet Guinan!" And then he walks into the bar, and then Guinan pulls a shotgun on him, like she doesn't recognize.
That is, dude, when you pull a shotgun on him. I was just laughing my ass off.
I'm like, how do you even? First of all, how do
wow.
you even get a shotgun like that in Los Angeles?
And also, she's supposed to be a pacifist. How the fuck does she?
You're
Why the fuck a shotgun?
right. Well, she only pulls a shotgun on him when Picard tells her she's Elorian.
But she still had a shotgun.
And I'm just
Yeah,
It's
like,
one of those violent pacifists where I'm a pacifist until you piss me off.
Yeah,
but the character they
Yeah.
showed whole lore of Star Trek. She's not gonna pull a gun, dude.
No, I know. See, I again haven't seen any of this yet, but it's all sounding painful.
yeah.
well,
No, they're not
parts
gonna
of it are painful.
show. It's actually much better in the first season, but there's still a lot of holes. I mean, there are tons
I
of
I
holes.
I, I agree. It's better. It's nicer to watch. Some of the interactions between the characters are like we mentioned with Girardi and the Borg Queen and the fucking USB cord.
Here,
Very
here's what I don't
strange.
understand. Like, why don't they find an actual Star Trek fan or one of the original writers, or not original, but somebody who at least worked on the writing team of like TNG or something? Like, why do they pick people that know nothing about Star Trek and then have them write the fucking story for it?
No idea.
I gotta say that if you're gonna go for somebody like Ronald Moore, that for whatever reason, I don't think they can afford him.
Yeah, it's more expensive, right? To go for people who know what they're doing. So they go for the cheaper option and they fuck up. Like, actually, this has more. I mean, exactly
I
like
mean,
Discovery. I haven't seen Discovery season 4 because I don't have it in India. I don't have the OTT, and I'm too lazy to download torrents because Paramount Plus is not in India yet. But season 3, I ask a question. Come on, the whole galaxy burned because one kid cried. What the fuck, man?
I know.
Well,
Come on. Come on. Like, that is just that's not even bad writing. That is abysmal writing.
Yeah, it really is.
So
I feel
haven't
like it's a
watched.
representation of cancel culture. Somebody cries and everyone burns.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I cannot give you that. That is just bad. I was shocked.
So
When I
be ready.
saw it, I literally almost fucking threw my remote at the TV. My wife would have killed me, but I almost threw my remote at the TV when I saw that. It was that bad.
Be
God.
ready.
I was
Wait, hold on. Be ready. Season 4. I haven't seen all of season 4 yet. I only
I
got
haven't
through
seen any
maybe like.
season 4. Please don't give me spoilers. I think I'm gonna download it in the next couple of days.
Can I just say one thing?
I know she cries. She cries all the time.
No,
That's her character.
no, not the crying, not the crying. It's so it's another universe destructive force thingy plotline that they have.
You're
And
fucking kidding me.
no, yeah. But I'll just give you the general characteristic of what it is. It's like a living anomaly.
Of course it is.
Oh God, dude. I did not like what do you call? I like DS9. I like TNG. I did not like Voyager, but Voyager was still a much better written series than these guys. What they're doing right now. I personally don't like Voyager, but it's far superior to what the fuck these guys are doing. I still watch it because I'm a fan, but they're really ruining it, man.
Yeah. See, I liked Lower Decks. That was
I
enjoyable.
haven't
Decks-
seen Lower Decks because I generally don't watch cartoons, but yeah, I guess I'll watch it.
Because Lower Decks
Lower-
is probably written by people that know what the fuck they're doing.
Is it
You know
good?
who it's
Is it worth
you know who
watching?
it's written by? It's written by Mike McMahon, who wrote Rick and Morty, and he is a Star Trek fan. And so the show that's produced, lots of callbacks to TNG because it takes place right after TNG, effectively.
So is it
Yeah.
worth watching? Is what I'm asking.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not someone who typically watches cartoons, but it's not like a kid's cartoon. It's worth watching.
No, I didn't get through
Uh,
Rick and Morty either, but I guess I'm a Star Trek fan, so I guess I can get through this.
Yeah, no, like okay, so the first episode is kind of jarring, I'll put it that way, but it gets so much better throughout the first
Yeah, I
season and the
watched half the first episode and it was really odd and I just stopped watching.
Right, no, you just got to get past the first episode. After the first episode, you get used to it, and it's actually it's really funny. Like there's a lot of really good callbacks that make Star Trek fans realize, oh my god, this is a Star Trek show.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it.
It's just sad that the animated series that's really kind of more or less a joke is more Star Trek than these new TV shows. It's just sad.
Agreed. I don't understand how, like, if I applied to a job as a writer for Star Trek and they're like, yes, I would go and watch Star Trek to understand what. That way, you don't fuck up things like, oh, I guess they already met.
No.
Oops.
But it's funny
Well,
that people who are, I get the writers don't, maybe the writers don't know, but the people producing it, the people who are actually Paramount is supposed to know what the fuck is show, man.
Well,
Yeah,
they don't care
whoever
about
they pick to proofread this shit, just it has a different agenda. That's the problem with these TV shows. The agenda is not making a good TV show anymore. It's having some fucking message in the background or
well,
whatever they
that
think
is
people want.
does it make money? Can we make money off the brand, right? Like just like
One
what
more
they're doing with
question.
Star
Why are they killing all our favorite characters? If you realize, they fucked Rambo in the latest movie. They made him a pussy who got beaten up, number one. Number two, they killed Terminator by making it a woman Terminator and a woman who's going to save the world. Why are they trying to promote women? They made Doctor Who a woman. They're going to make Bond a black woman. what the fuck is going on, man? I get women equality, but why are they killing all our characters off who we grew up with?
Because they don't give a shit.
Well, it's there's a brand, and then they want a representation to show how progressive they are. But in reality, instead of making something new and different using various minority characters, they just take a brand and rebrand it
Yeah,
and shove it down people's throats.
See,
yeah, I was gonna say
I'm
it's
not
it's
racist. I'm
laziness.
not
It's
racist. I had a
laziness.
lot of. Sorry. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah, it's laziness because like there should be strong female characters that they bring out and should be enjoyable and should just stand on their own for whatever the fuck they're doing. But rather than coming up with new intellectual property or anything like that or giving anything else a try, they're just like, you know what, fuck it, we'll just make whoever a woman in this next one. And I mean,
Exactly.
is boring. I don't know, to me at least. Like I'd rather see cool, new, interesting, strong female characters,
Yeah,
and
I don't
also
mind
some
female
strong
characters, but
ones. Not the Discovery chick that cries
no,
over
not someone.
everything.
Exactly.
Oh my
That
god.
her go-to is just crying, dude. I mean, I mean, if you actually take the whole tape, she must be crying for half the show. I'm not kidding you. She just cries
There
for
are
every.
there are YouTube videos that splice in all the crying scenes from Discovery.
It's just sad. No, what I mean,
They're
I
not.
get okay. I get Bond can become a black female because it's not. I'm not being racist. I have a lot of friends who are white, black, whatever. I'm not being racist. I'm just specifying it because that's what it is. Because Bond is basically a designation, so I guess they can try to do that. How in the world can they make Doctor Who a woman? Please explain
I
that to
don't know.
me.
I
I
don't know.
mean, you could make the argument it's an alien, so does it have actual
Yes, it
gender?
has.
Like I,
Yes, they've
I
always
haven't
said
watched
that
enough
they're
Doctor
different.
Who, so
Oh, Doctor Who
Doctor
can
Who. I mean,
literally
I stopped
recreate
watching it.
himself. Doctor
I
Who
stopped
can
watching it, but
literally
it's
recreate
amazing.
himself and can do things like that.
Hmm.
So it
No,
tracks.
they're two different genders, clearly established in the show.
He's an alien.
Even aliens have genders, right?
How do you know?
Well, exactly what they
Anything's
established is
possible
their
with an alien,
genders in
is
the
what I'm
alien.
saying. It's not far-fetched that he would turn into a woman.
Okay, give me a minute. My daughter is yelling.
Hey, Kirk, you
So
just
anyway,
missed the conversation with Picard.
What'd you say?
You just missed the conversation we had about Star Trek Picard.
Oh, I mean, I'm glad I missed it then. Unfortunately, I mean, I am still watching it, but I'm not like super happy about it.
Yeah, we
Um,
were
there's
going through.
lots
this
of holes, lazy writing. People
it's
are
well,
being
We were going.
ignored.
for me,
It was
100% inaccurate portrayal of how immigrations and customs enforcement actually operates. That's not how they operate. I have firsthand experience with how they operate and how their detention facilities look and shit like that, and it's just I I don't think any. I think somebody heard, like they were like, okay, well, who are we going to make the big bad guys here? Immigrations and customs enforcement. Okay, well, I don't know who that is. They're bad people that put brown people in cages. Oh my god, that's horrible. I'm writing this up right now. Like, it's oh my god, dude, it is ridiculous. I mean, I'm not saying that everything that immigrations and customs enforcement does is like the best thing in the world, but Jesus fuck, man, at least don't lie.
Yeah, but
so
that
there
doesn't.
was a
Take
point.
a
That's
Wait,
not
wait, wait, hold on.
Congress.
There was a point I was making about 7 of 9 stealing a car, and they can't or the police car, and they can't track her police car on her GPS, but they're using GPS to track the ICE bus that's transporting Rios to the border.
Well, I'm sure they could track her on the GPS, which is why the police all of a sudden had a roadblock wherever they were going, if you remember.
Right.
Like all of a sudden they came the opposite direction and tried to roadblock her. So, no, I think that worked. What was funny to me is the fact that she knew which one was the gas, which one was the brake, how the steering wheel operated perfectly, how the gear shifter worked.
It's 7 of 9. Why is that
Yeah, but
surprising to you?
it's
Of all the things.
No, but also,
Hey,
do you realize she doesn't have the Borg implant anymore?
It doesn't matter. She still has that knowledge.
I know, but
That's the
why
whole
did
point.
they take it out suddenly? They had it even in the first season of Picard.
because of the timeline change.
Ah, okay.
she was never assimilated.
Yeah, she
And
went on to
in the timeline.
become the president of the or the head bitch in charge of the racist hate people or whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So, Kirk, what do you think about the sexual tension between the Borg Queen and Girardi?
I mean, I don't know, man. I think the Borg Queen could probably make her come quick. You know, all those tentacles and shit.
Another typical reference.
I mean, she could probably with a quickness assimilate that G-spot with extreme prejudice.
That's
No,
probably
also what I don't get is she literally pulled out all her tentacles. She took over the ship. She got them to the past, and then she's half dead. What? Like that's another plot like problem right there. She has the power to do all that, and then she goes half dead.
The first season was about a mythical tentacle monster.
I know
Who,
we all went through.
whoever the fuck wrote this show is into tentacle porn. I'm throwing it out there.
It's
Everything, there's
already
tentacles
been
everywhere.
discussed multiple times before you showed up. By the way,
Yeah, that's
somebody
actually
has tentacle
people.
fetish.
Yeah, it's been mentioned.
many times.
There's been a notice of the whole tentacle theme.
Yeah, I don't. Somebody's like, I watched
Yeah.
Star Trek growing up, and I really thought 7 of 9 was hot, and I like tentacle porn. Now I have an opportunity to get both of those things in the same frame.
That's funny.
And I could put lesbian tension in there. It's amazing. It's every nerd's dream. Anyway,
No, but there's definitely this is odd shit going on between Borg Queen and Girardi. I mean, that's some odd ass shit going on in the
so
episode.
Well,
I will
neither
say this about the show. I think the idea of what the I like the Q idea. Of course, I love Q. I mean, it's Q, right? Who doesn't like Q? But I like the idea. Some of the things they're doing, like you know, like they picked out immigrations and customs enforcement, and all of a sudden, you know, it's just the horrible things and they're horrible people and all these things. Like vilifying that is fucking stupid. They're a bunch of morons for doing that. Some of the other things, I will say on a positive note, because I've been trying to be more positive lately because I'm such a negative prick. That the acting is good. I think everybody's doing a terrific job in their roles.
Rafa isn't. Rafa is gone completely off the rails.
Well,
Everybody else.
the person playing Rafi is really. I guess she is the representative for the Shatner camp because she's really overdoing it.
Yeah, she's literally going bonkers. I mean, I think I just don't like the way she's portraying the character. She's completely going cool.
Overall, I don't hate the show. At this point, they could all go back in time and fuck rainbow dinosaurs, and I'd still think it was better than Discovery.
Yeah, I haven't seen the
I
latest
don't
season of
think.
Discovery. I haven't
No.
seen the latest season of Discovery, but the
No.
ending of the third season killed it for me anyway. I mean, one
No,
person crying.
I have a toddler, and my toddler cries enough. I get enough crying. I'm fine.
So one toddler cries and the whole galaxy burns. That doesn't make any freaking sense, man.
Well, you know, it's not supposed to, but social justice. That's all you need to care about. Equality. It doesn't make any
That has
sense.
nothing to do with equality.
Hold on. It doesn't make any sense in equality, bro. But it's equal, so it doesn't matter. Look at my hair. It's long.
It's just
and
their
beautiful.
priorities for these shows are different now. We have
Wait, Techman
all
wanted to
Yeah.
say something, and
established
I
that.
mean, I think he got cut off.
It's
I
not
want to hear
about
what he wanted to
listening.
say.
Sometimes I feel like vreddy has me muted.
No, I don't have you
Who did?
muted. Sorry.
That's okay.
Have
I
you
just
ever?
wanted.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Honestly, you
So
should
Kirk,
be ready. It sounds so much better once you mute Handy.
What's
so
up, Tech?
I still wait. Everybody
Kirk,
stop. I want to hear what
what,
Techman wanted to say.
wait, so Kirk, what do you think about the USB exchange between Girardi and the Borg Queen?
Okay, sorry for stopping everybody for that.
I don't. I mean, I don't fucking know.
I mean, like I think Boom was right on. It's like the Borg never assimilated Bluetooth technology, and you still need like a USB cord to connect into a human to download information.
Well, I think the idea there is that operating within the confines of semi-realistic science fiction, um, that since humans don't have any sort of telepathy or any sort of thing like that, like how are you going to, without physical contact, tap into someone's mind? So it makes sense.
Oh, with the exception of Vulcans and
Well, yeah. That's
you
what I'm.
know, other telepathic beings that are in Star Trek. Just
But the thing is that the Borg bitch, we don't know what her species is and what they're capable of.
yeah,
But she's
sure. And then
Borg.
she sounds so human. I mean, so much for being Borg.
Well, they still have the anyway.
Tentacles.
So, well, I mean, they still have her Borg voice with the robot-y voice.
It only came out though when she takes over the ship while they're going. Otherwise, she just sounds normal and she sounds like a normal person. She doesn't sound
Yeah.
like Borg.
No, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see where it fucking goes. I mean, it's already shit. But what else can we? What else
I'm
can we
still
do?
as bad as we're saying it. We basically are finding points to have a problem with. It's definitely better than the
Well,
first, but let's see where
no,
it
I
goes.
mean, immediately
I don't
on
have
like the
anything good to
second,
say about it.
I already said some good shit.
Kirk's good quota is has expired.
Okay. So I thought the acting was done well. The idea behind this season and the storyline, I like the idea behind it. Jerry Ryan, those cheeks are still clappable. And we got Q, bro. So there you go. There's 4 things. I got 4 things. That's more than I've ever had on anything before in my life. There you go.
Hey, it's better than
What's going
Discovery.
on?
Anything's better than Discovery.
Discovery's ass.
I could literally make a TV show about my butthole that would be better than Discovery.
Probably sell it to Netflix, man.
Yeah.
Well, I can make a show about tentacles. That's better than Discovery.
Yeah.
Good.
Literally anything.
So, Oof, what's going on, man? How you been? Or poor coercion? I don't know. What do you? Oof is your alliance, I guess. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yo,
mean,
sorry, I muted myself because you guys were talking. I was just getting something done
right,
again.
I'm trying to talk to poor coercion. Are you on, dude? Maybe, kind of. Hmm. All right. Anyways, I tried.
Valiant attempt. Bravo.
Yes, it was. I tried. I tried. You know, I didn't even finish the season of Prodigy. I should probably go finish that up.
Prodigy's good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I thought looked more like a kid's show, so I haven't looked into that one as much. Is it worth it?
It's good. I mean, I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. I mean, yeah, it is geared more towards children. However,
Who kicked me, dog?
that show has more of a Trek feel than Discovery ever has or will.
Wait, quick question. What OTT is Prodigy on? I don't get it in India, I think.
It's on Nickelodeon.
Ah, no wonder. It doesn't come in India.
Yeah, I was kind of interested in the Janeway aspect because I'm a fan of Voyager, but it was very Star Wars like Star Wars Clone Wars esque, like meets Star Trek kind of show. But it was enjoyable. I need to finish it up. Oh really, Andras? Prodigy was better than Picard season 1 for you, huh? Cool. I had high hopes for Picard season 1, and it really let me down.
I think with all these new Star Trek shows, you just have to go into it
Yeah.
realizing that it's going to be complete shit, and if something surprises you and it's not complete shit, then you'll like it.
I think
Lowered expectations.
Handy makes a good point, and I think that we need to remember that we need to go into these shows with the foreknowledge that this is not your dad's Star Trek, and this is not even our Star Trek. You know, this is a Star Trek. This is a Star Trek that's used to appeal to the people who operate pretty much solely on emotion, which is what is being pushed nowadays. You know, my truth or whatever the bullshit they say is.
It's basically pussy Star Trek.
I mean, don't get me wrong. A lot of the messages are important, but the way you deliver it, it's like a Star Trek back in the day would present you with an issue, and it would give you the opportunity to feel it out for yourself. You know, like
why
you
does it have to be in your face? Why can't they just?
Yeah, it's spoon fed now. I mean, it's almost intravenously pumped into you. You know, this is what you have to think, and this is what you have to believe, because if you don't, you're a piece of shit. And back in the day, it was like, hey, do you not see why this is a problem? But it was very not subtle, but it was done so tastefully that it didn't take away from the storyline of the show. The storyline of the show was still very good, even back in the '60s, when TV was, by today's standards, absolute shit. They still did a really great job of portraying that. And now I don't know if it's because younger generations are less. There's not as much common sense. I mean, let's just be honest. Like, go out and find a 20-year-old on the street, you know, and find a 20-year-old on the street and talk to him, and you're like, Jesus, you're a fucking idiot. And it's not their fault. It's that common sense is not something that is pushed. It's not. In our back in our day, it was, well, what did you learn? Now it's, I'm so sorry that rule was not listed. I'm sorry that there wasn't a sign that says hot, do not touch. Like, no, did you feel the heat coming off of it, you jackass? That's what I was told back in the day. But that's not what happens now. So that's who they're appealing to. They're appealing to a younger, stripped down generation. And, you know, unfortunately, the younger generation is soft. And it's not a dig at them. It's just kind of a natural order of things. More comfort, more technology, and all these things. You know, I'm in a generation where I still remember standing in the kitchen on a fucking corded phone because, you know, all the chairs were dragged into the other room and I had to stand up and talk on the phone. You know, the younger generation doesn't understand that now. Anyway, I digress.
Or a rotary phone. Anybody ever use a rotary phone?
Absolutely. That was what was hanging on the fucking wall.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
I would like to add that kids nowadays don't go out and play. They're fucking stuck to their iPads. They're stuck to this, they're stuck to that. They don't have a life outside. Like
That just comes
We
down
actually used
to
to go out
convenience,
and
be
play
ready.
people. I remember when I was a kid, I used to like cycle around my lane. I used to go. I used to do all kinds of stupid shit. But we went out and did stuff. Kids nowadays don't.
Well,
I
even if they do now, they're bringing the electronics with them.
Well, I don't
So,
necessarily think that it's a fault of, when we were kids, we went out and played. I think it's more of uh there are more worries because we have more technology associated with our lives, that when we go outside, there's more of a worry factor about everything regarding the world than it used to be when we were children. So we can't
well, yeah, the access to
accurately
Man,
information.
go through and say, well, these people are really fucked up because they bring their phones to the playground. Whereas we were kids, we had these fucking gigantic battery phones that, only charged for like 2 seconds. I mean, that's, it's different. People now, I
How old
think,
are
are
you? I
more.
didn't have these phones when I was a kid.
yeah, there were no cell phones when I was a kid. Period. But
I
I don't
hear
I'm
know.
what
only
you're I hear
35
what
and
you're
I didn't
saying.
have a cell phone when I was a kid. I mean,
I
how
hear
old
what
are
you're
you?
saying. Listen, I hear what Tech is. I hear what you're saying, Tech. But here's the thing: as someone who understands this, and anyone else who has post-traumatic stress disorder or some sort of generalized anxiety disorder or anything like that, is very aware that you're physically.
Also, that's a cultural thing. I mean, can I add something though to that particular statement you just made? It's a cultural thing. I'm 35. I still live with my parents because we are expected to live with our parents in India. We all live together. It's like a joint family thing. Just
Right.
just putting that out there before anyone says anything.
Well, it's also a financial thing, right? Like, I reckon
Oh no,
when
I
I moved
put
out of my
about
house.
one.
No, no,
I
no.
can
I'm
find.
not talking about you. I'm talking about like the way the economy where we are has changed. Because when I moved out of my house, that was you could do that technically even on basically a minimum wage and live alone in a nice apartment. Now in the Seattle area, you cannot work a minimum wage job and live in a decent apartment alone. That's just not possible.
What are you talking?
Period.
You could make
And
$60,000 a year in Seattle and still need fucking food stamps, dude.
well, yeah, I know, but the point is, when I first graduated high school and shit, you didn't need the food like you could actually work just a job and live alone. You can't do it anymore. So there is a degree as well of the economics making it
I can
harder
see
for
that.
them to just move out and be on their own immediately.
I can see that, but would you disagree with me that would you say that the emotional maturity of someone who's 20 years old is the same as that of 30 years ago?
No, I think there's a lot more hand holding today, and so it leads to people still needing their
So
hand to be held.
I may have used some bad examples, but you see what I'm saying. That's the point that I'm making. Emotional mental maturity.
Yeah.
I mean, uh
Well, I
I
I
talk to them now and they
I
just
want to
don't
I want to take a step because I
good.
agree with you, Kirk. But I think there's more issues that people have to deal with today than they had to deal with when we were younger. For
I think we're
example,
more
if
aware
you
of
go to
them.
the playground and you encounter, well, no, but let me give you this example. When we were younger, you go to the playground, you encounter a bully, you get beat up, or you beat them up, or whatever. You go home, you don't have to worry about that person until next time you come to the playground. Nowadays, what'll happen is that bully will find your Twitter account, your Facebook account, your TikTok, your Kick, or whatever, and then you'll still be ridiculed 24/7 as people are being ridiculed now. And so
Yeah.
when you're being ridiculed like that as a child, that has profound implications of when you become as an adult. So when you are
Oh, no
able to
doubt.
tune that out, or can you tune that out, like people used to do way back in the day, then you lead to more, I guess what you would say, more emotionally strong-willed people, as opposed to now when you're constantly getting broken every single minute of every single day.
Yeah. I guess I could definitely see that. And I would definitely say that I would say that's absolutely true. I had definitely had some issues when I was younger, pretty bad. The bullying and things like that. I was always different. I was the kid with the severe ADHD, and everybody made fun of me and things like that. And I was pretty slow to pick up on social cues and things like that, because it's just how my brain worked, and they didn't know a lot about shit back in the fucking 90s and stuff like that. So I understand that, and I absolutely think that not just think, I know for a fact that a lot of my issues that I have today began when I was a kid, from the little bastards at the fucking playground. And so I do see where that there's a lot of difference, because if you go to a playground and the kid's always at that playground and he's a dick, well, you stop going to that playground, you go to a different playground. So you had that option, but like you say, now it's almost inescapable. But I mean, obviously this is an ugly can of worms, because we could talk about how social media is probably one of the single worst things to ever happen to mankind, because it is. There's not really any. I mean, there's new mental health diagnoses, and the people pretty much get it as a result of spending too much time online and looking at other people's bodies and things. So,
does anything even good come out of social media?
Okay, I will say, as someone who unfortunately has to spend quite a bit of time on social media because of what I do for a living, training people. I will say that there are some good things. There are good people out there. There are some good accounts that share really good information, especially as it pertains to like mental health. There's a lot of good people out there that take their time out of their day and they post up really good content and uplifting stuff, and it really does help people. But at the same time, there is just as many. There's actually, I would argue, for every one truly good person that's online, I would argue that there's two more that are just dipshits and assholes and are just condescending and making people feel like shit and just basically bullies. So there are good things, and I have seen them. I've participated in them. I've been the recipient, and I've also been the person who's given out some good things. But I think overall, if social media were to disappear tomorrow, I think that it would eliminate a lot of issues that we have, because Jesus Christ, man, the mental health problem that we have is not removed at all from the physical problems that we have. Severe mental issues cause physical issues.
So I have to speak on. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Kurt.
And we know that. I mean, this has been studied to the nth degree. We know that no matter what condition you may be suffering from, even if it's obviously a real condition, you have some issues. We know that chronic stress, anxiety, and issues like that can increase the difficulties and the symptoms that you get to in threefold. So, like I said, this is a whole Pandora's box. You just don't want to open it, because we could be on here for like 3 hours. But go ahead.
I just wanted to speak on the social media thing, because I left most of the social media platforms I was on. And I think it has a lot to do with this kind of toxic positive image of like what a good family should look like. And I think that's why a lot of parents today are under this kind of pressure to make sure that their kids look happy or their family looks happy. And I just think it's a huge load of bullshit, and it drives me fucking bonkers to see these kind of staged photos of what people should look like as parents, or families should look like. And so I left most of my social media. I still have one platform that I'm on for my kids' stuff. But I just think that there is so much pressure on people of my generation to kind of make it work as this, traditional nuclear family. And people go through some really bizarre lengths to paint that pretty picture. And I think, kind of like you were saying, Kirk, about people's mental health, it's just making it worse. And I know that my kind of understanding of why people of my age are these kind of helicopter parents is because my parents were always working. They were never in my household. I was always alone. I was always kind of doing stuff for myself. And so now I notice that a lot of people who are parents of my age, they're kind of overdoing it as far as making sure they're at their kids' every game or every school assembly. And I think it has to do a lot with, our parents not really being there a lot, if yours were working a lot like mine were. And also everything that is posted on social media about this perfectness.
Yeah, social media, from my perspective, is just another example of how humanity fails because the general idea at first was, oh, it's a way to keep up with and communicate with, friends, family, whatever, without having to, reach out specifically. You can just kind of conglomerate and, social movement issues and stuff that mattered. And instead you get a lot of people who are just
It's
not
entertainment.
great. It wasn't
It's a way of
designed
seeking validation,
as
is what it is.
well. That's
Exactly.
what people are using it for. That's really not what it was designed for.
No. If you ever go on someone, and everybody has like a grandparent that's on Facebook. If you ever go to their Facebook, they use Facebook for what it was originally designed to do. They use it to post
Yep.
pictures of the grandkids. Yeah, Jerry had his checkup and everything was great. We're real happy going out to dinner tonight to celebrate a clean bill of health or what. They do stuff like that. And that is honestly what social media originally was. That was originally what it was intended for. But now you have
You know
people
what the
that
funny
seek
part is?
validation.
I was actually part of Facebook when it first launched. I was in college at that point. I was in Johns Hopkins. There were only, I think, 15 schools or 10 schools that was part of Facebook. So I was actually part of the original Facebook. Now my staff is on Facebook. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, it like I said, it can be good. I'm on Instagram because that's the most popular one, and I get a lot of DMs and stuff like that, and so I've had a lot of good things come from there. But I mean, honestly, if I weren't training people and things like that, I wouldn't be on there anymore. I have a Facebook, but that Facebook is no one is on that. I mean, not even friends. It's just family members. That's
They
it.
should just rename it to Brag Book.
I feel like Instagram is the worst one. They're the most full of shit.
Oh, of course.
Well, a lot of it depends. A lot of it depends on what you do. I mean, I've done a real good job of like going through, and if there's something that I think is toxic or something I don't like, I go through and I click. I don't want to see this anymore, and like things like that. Like I'll actually go through and prune it, and excuse me, and I'll go through and I'll cut a bunch of that stuff out, and so now what shows up, a lot of that stuff that shows up is it's for the most part it's positive things or things that are relevant that I actually want to see. So it's just when you skip over stuff, it'll continue to show you things like that.
I'm pretty sure Instagram is only for showing how pretty people are, and that's about it.
Some good
Yeah,
stuff on there, man. There really
I
is.
think that like there's a lot of this whole influencer thing, especially with women. Like I get a lot of that bullshit in my feed, and I'm just like, I don't want to go out and buy this shit because you're standing and wearing it and you think you look a certain way in it. Like I just think that is a load of shit.
Yeah, but
Well,
it works on so many people.
I'm a bit adversarial when it comes to that. Like I'll actually go the opposite direction. If I see people peddling shit, I'll go out of my way to not buy it.
No, but actually, it's funny that there's so many people who actually buy it, though. You and me have a brain.
No, it does.
Most people
Oh
don't.
yeah, I believe it.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there are people I know. My friend Jim McD, he's in the fitness industry, and he's a gym owner. They have a clothing line and everything, and so he
He was
knows a
on the
lot of
pod?
these. He was on the podcast. That's right. Shout out to Jim McD from 50% Facts. We did interview him. It was actually pretty good. We nerded out a bit. And Jim, I talk to him all the time, and he knows a lot of pretty famous people online. I mean, you're talking about people that are 900 to a million, 8 to 900,000, upwards of a million followers. People that are pretty well known within, especially the fitness industry. And I mean, it's amazing what some of these people get paid to, go on a post and wear a pair of sweatpants. I mean, you got people that do one post and they're making like 20 grand a post.
Dude, my wife itself got influenced and bought a bunch of shit for my kid when she was born because of these influencers. So I know for a fact people do get influenced.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely money involved. I mean, I think there was one thing I looked into because it was somebody that I followed, and it was just they didn't even advertise a brand. It was just a particular kind of like health supplement, but it wasn't even like a brand name. They were just like, look into it, blah 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 blah. And that was pretty much the only time that I'd ever actually taken advice from anyone online. But it was just because this is a person who has a PhD in nutritional science and a well-known name in the industry, very trustworthy, backs up everything. But they were just talking about how this particular compound worked, and the safety and all these things, but didn't even mention a brand name. So it wasn't like they were endorsing a particular product. It was just a particular compound. So I think that was the only time that I've ever actually sort of bit the hook.
Why don't we switch to STFC stuff?
You guys
Sure,
still talking about that shit?
We got like 10 minutes, so we can talk about
it. Slip it in there under the wire.
Yeah,
Well, I gotta say, before we switch, I think this has been a nice respite from STFC, where we actually talk about Star Trek and other issues. I think this was a lot more fun.
Well, we kind of went down a fucking rabbit hole that was about 28 miles long, but...
Oh, we do that anyway.
No.
Segues inevitable.
But yeah, anyways, yeah, STFC. Oh, so I logged in yesterday, and I noticed. Yeah, I logged in yesterday, and I noticed there were so many clicks now. I was like, wow, when did this happen? But maybe that's just me. Like, for example, like your 4-hour chests or whatever, whatever that box is for your chest. I think there's like 7 things that you can click now on a daily basis. I mean, geez, I remember when it was just like 3. Now it's like 7 or 8 or whatever.
7, there are multiple, dude. Every morning I have to wake up. First, I click Syndicate. Then, okay, most people don't have the monthly thing, but I go click the monthly one. Then you have to go to do your axionic chips and get your exos. Then you have to go to Alliance and get your Alliance stuff done. And then go to Territory and get that done. And then you go to faction stores and get that done. And then you go and do your refinery. That takes about 15-20 minutes right there.
Yeah, not to mention that there was there's more stuff now, right? In the with the new building, right? You can
I don't
get
recall new clicks. It's you have to do shit to unlock it, and then you have to pay if you want to actually unlock it, and then you click getting the reward. But it's.
I think the rod was worth it. It was 1.5 times the materials, so it was actually a decent pack if you're willing to pay. And 700 hostiles is not much for us. Come on, be truthful.
Well, especially over a week. That's not that bad. And plus, it's not only 7. It's either 700 hostiles, or if you get the 260 or whatever it is daily points to complete your dailies, it's 100 points. So it's just a combination of completing that a few days a week and grinding out some of the hostiles while you do it too. Like it is really easy to get to the point where you can unlock it. And once they fixed, because it looked like an awful reward for mine, but I did find through Ripper that they'd actually kind of fix that, and supposedly next go it will show the correct amounts. But no, the rewards were actually yeah. So on some servers they didn't show properly, so you had to go and dig it up and look it up. But yeah, they're actually decent rewards. So
yeah, it was basically 4.9k G4, about 2.5k G5, and about 900 gas and 700 of the other 2 of G3. I'm sorry, that is an amazing pack if someone who actually is willing to pay for it in materials. That's like that's like almost 50% more. That's actually pretty good if someone's willing to pay for the pack. That is.
So let me let me understand, to your point, vreddy, regarding all these clicks. Imagine what will happen in about 6 months, 9 months to a year from now if everybody here is still playing the game. How many more clicks, how many more things that they're going to add on to this game?
But if you keep doing it, there's going to be a point of no return. There's going to be a point where people say, "Fuck that shit." I mean, it's already a lot. If we keep
Already
pushing it,
getting there.
if we keep pushing it, more people will just say, "Fuck it."
I mean,
Truthfully speaking,
imagine
I would.
how many more currencies do you need to get in this game? It becomes kind of, if they would have put like a converter where if you buy a pack and you convert them, I mean, you could have really bad conversion rates, but you could still utilize the conversions much better if they did that. Because I mean, just to hear what you said about 15 minutes worth of clicks, how many more minutes are you willing to tolerate, vreddy, before you say, I'm done with this
That's,
game?
I think this is the last straw. If they keep adding shit, I'm not going to bother. I'm a dogged person. I want to finish everything. I actually do every single thing. I do messages. I do every single thing in the game. I do it because I have ODD. I'm obsessive. I have to finish everything. But there's a point of no return, right? There's a point where people will say, fuck that. Enough is enough. They're going too much. You get what I mean?
Well, because when I also looked at the events, I remember seeing like 10, 13 different things. And I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, did I really used to do all this when I was still playing the game? This seems like a lot right now.
It is a lot.
If I wasn't as compulsive, I would have not done half the things. Like a lot of people don't do messages. A lot of people don't do bog. A lot of people don't do keys. I am actually 160 I'm actually M160. But still, is this the fact I need that box clicked? So I still actually go hit keys. I mean,
I
is
need
this? I'm obsessive. I mean, that's the reason why I win. That's the reason why I win events. That's the reason why I play. I am a little obsessive when it comes to I need to finish every single thing. I'm sitting on about 30,000 of each messages right now. And I feel that's low because I was at 70,000 at one point and I've been slacking. So, yeah. And there's going to be a point where people will say, yeah, you're asking too much. Even I, who is an obsessive person, I will stop at some point. I will say, fuck that shit.
Yeah, but how many more things are they going to need to add?
I mean, you never know. They're still adding, dude. They added Syndicate. There was no reason for it to be a separate click. They could have thrown in the refinery. They could have with a. The funny part is the refinery is there, but doesn't they have red pips for half? They don't have for half. Why don't parts have red pips? Why doesn't territory, which is ISO, has red pips? Why do half have them and half not? That doesn't make any fucking sense. I mean, you get what I mean?
That is so true. Yeah, I never got that either. That's a Scopely thing. You might want to ask them.
I mean,
Put it on the list.
Coordinating their core players. Yes, I don't spend as much as people. I spend maybe $100 a month or $150 a month, but I'm I mean, I've been in this game for years. I mean, but if you alienate someone like me, you're going to alienate the new people too. If someone like me walks away, the new people are not going to even have a chance, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm asking the
they
question.
create new servers and they slowly release things to try and curb that, but still.
And then they throw out things like Armada events with people who can't do Armadas.
Or it's level gated or whatever they decide to do with it.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw a new pack. It says Prime Vidar cargo? What's that all about?
Just
Oh,
increases
it's actually increases your Vidar cargo by a lot. There's Stella, Vidar, and there's repairs. Those are 3 primes this month.
Okay.
I mean, I
So-
got them for free, so I didn't even bother looking. I just did all of them. But
So you
I'm
can
already-
increase your Vidar cargo so you can get more ISO from the Meridian.
No, what does Vida have to do with the Meridian, dude?
Well,
Vida
a
does
lot of people,
because
a lot
that's
of
what
people use it to
are using
hunt.
for.
But yeah, no. The real idea is when you go into Borg space, you can get a whole lot more, and so you don't have to use as many tokens. I don't know.
Why not just get rid of the tokens? I guess you can't make money off that. My bad. What am I saying?
Exactly. Like,
I mean, I'm loving the Stella cargo though.
Oh yeah, I'm assuming because you have the keys, right? You can load up on a bunch of keys.
I'm getting about without any cargo officers. I'm getting 500 and change thousand. So, I mean, literally, I mean, it's a godsend. Going for 100,000 coming back, going for 100,000 coming back was really annoying. Like I
That's
said,
why-
I don't need to do it. I am doing it because I'm obsessive.
Well, if you're like Handy, you just use 3 Stellas at once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that too. I have 4, but the point is I have all my ships doing something. So I only have 1 or 2 available. I'm not gonna stop everything I'm doing and recall everything and then send them to Stella, which is something I don't need to do in the first place. So I just went on the day Stella cargo opened up. I went and grinded 10 million. So I'm happy right now. I don't even have to bother with it for the next.
10 million, jeez.
Yeah, I'm sitting at about 8 right now.
All right. Well, I mean, we're kind of rubbing against 2 hours. Anybody got any other topics they wanna discuss?
No.
So I guess everybody's homework for next week is watch season 4 of Discovery so we can talk about it.
I have to download it. That's the
God
problem.
no.
Okay, I have one question. Don't give me any spoilers. Is it better than the last episode of season 3? I mean, is the story any better than the fact that a kid cried and the world burned?
I haven't seen the back half, but I'll venture to say it's on par.
It's actually equally bad.
Yeah.
Then I'm not even going to fucking bother. Dude.
I'll spoil it all.
That
I'll spoil it all next week.
That last episode, I really wanted to break something, dude. I literally am like, what the fuck are these guys thinking? Come on, man. A kid cries and the world burns. Come on. Not in world, the universe.
I will tell you this: in the very first part of the very first episode of season 4, it seems Kaminar has forgiven Sukal for what he did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if you return back and you're the reason why everything's so broken, and they forgive you, and you're on the council or whatever the hell it is, I'm just saying, that's how the show starts.
I mean, I still don't get the premise of making her a captain anyway. She's a train wreck to begin with. Why would they make her a captain? That was the wrong premise to begin with. Keep her as an officer.
I think that people have discovered that you need to make the show about the captain, and making it about the first officer, with the exception of Lower Decks, which is funny, is no bueno.
You seem to be getting a lot of additional people coming on right now. I mean, I keep getting pop up. Welcome, talking. Try talk.
hey, I guess people want that respite from STFC. Talk about actual things Star Trek.
No.
Don't kill my dreams, Boom. Don't kill my dreams.
My dreams are way kinkier than this. Gotta
This
step
has
it up.
been another episode of bullshit.
You have more kinkier than tentacle porn?
Oh god.
Well, no. You
Fucking
said
end
your
the show.
dreams are about talking about not
No.
STFC. My dreams definitely have the tentacles.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're done. We're done. We'll see you all in the after party.
More.
Have a
His
wonderful
dreams
day.
have the tentacles going into random
A
places.
beautiful tomorrow.
Resistance is futile.
There's nothing happening here. Good day, people.
Oh, that was a good ending, bro. Sorry, this is a perfect ending. Boom has
Thanks for
tentacles up his ass.
Oh god damn.
I didn't say they're going in me.
I said they're going in you.
Thanks for listening to Tinkle Talk. We'll see you guys next time.
Yep. Okay. You guys enjoy. I'll see you in the after party.
Yeah, you feel free to join the after party.